In this video, we're going to see how you can learn the information you need for Microsoft's Power BI and Fabric exams. Hello, I'm Philip Burton of idodata.com. Microsoft have got 3 exams about Power BI and Microsoft Fabric, and these are the new DP-700 Fabric Data Engineer Associate, the DP-600 Fabric Analytics Engineer Associate, and the PL-300 Power BI Data Analyst Associate. So what are these 3 exams and how do they differentiate from each other? Well, the PL-300 is all about Power BI. So if I scroll down, you can see that there are 4 skills to be measured. So they are prepare the data, this is using Power Query or Get and Transform, model the data, so this is creating calculated measures, calculated columns using the DAX language, visualize and analyze the data, and manage and secure Power BI. Once you have done the PL-300 exam, then you might want to consider the DP-600 exam. This extends your Power BI knowledge. So I would say it starts with part 5 of Power BI, implement and manage semantic models. Then we have prepare data, which is also partly Power BI, but it's also partly Fabric. And finally, maintain a data analytics solution that is entirely Fabric. So the DP600 is the bridge from advanced Power BI skills to having a look at Fabric. So you would need SQL and KQL or Kusto skills for this. The DP700 is firmly for Fabric, but it extends from what you have learnt in the DP600. Around 30 to 40% of the content that is in the DP600 is also in the DP700. So if we have a look at the requirements, they are implement and manage an analytics solution. So there's a lot in there in the DP700, which is also in the DP600. Ingest and transform data. So about half of that is also in the DP600 when it comes to SQL and KQL. But it also requires PySpark. And then finally, monitor and optimize an analytic solution. Now, what you don't need in the DP700 is any skill with Power BI. This is 100% Fabric. Microsoft have a website called the Microsoft Fabric Career Hub. It says advance your career with the fastest growing Microsoft certifications. Indeed, they said that the DP600 is a really fast growing certification. And the DP700 was evolved from the DP600, so much so that there has been a major change in the DP600 in November. The PySpark requirements got moved into the DP700 and instead it added KQL. Now, if I scroll down, you can see what the data engineer and the analytics engineer is for. So, first of all, let's have a look at the data analyst. So, this is the PL-300. So, you can see we are looking at Power BI together possibly with an SQL endpoint and notebooks, data flows, and procedures. However, the last 2 of these are not measured in the PL-300, they're measured in the DP-600. If we now turn to the analytics engineer, this is the DP-600, then in addition to Power BI and SQL and notebooks, data flows, and procedures, you also need to know about Lakehouse and Data Warehouse. And it says shortcuts, but that's been removed from the DP600, and pipelines and data flow ingestion. Now, I would say that the DP600 does not look at the transformation of data using notebooks and procedures. And then finally, there's the DP700. So here we can see you need to know everything about data sources, ingestion, and transformation that you can see on the screen. But you don't need to know about how to expose it. You don't need to know about Power BI, for example. However, I would say that you do need to know about the SQL endpoint and also the KQL query set, which is also required in the analytics engineer. Now, these 3 exams, as you have seen, build on each other. So really, I call the start of the DP600 part 5 of the PL-300. So how can you learn to be able to take these exams? Well, I'm pleased to be able to say that we have now launched our new DP-700 video series. So this is all about data engineering using Microsoft Fabric. Now, this course starts from the very beginning. You don't need to have prior experience with Fabric. And we will be starting from the beginning with the three languages that you will need: PySpark, SQL, and KQL. So in this course, you'll be looking at data pipelines and data flows, manipulating data using a notebook, PySpark, and SQL, transforming data in a warehouse, and other topics such as shortcuts and mirroring, optimizing performance, and streaming data. Now, if you already know a lot about Power BI and you just want an introduction to Fabric, then you may want to have a look at the DP-600 course instead. So this course continues from the PL-300 course in that it starts with more Power BI. Following these Power BI topics, we then start our look at Fabric. Have a look at the lakehouses, warehouses, and SQL, and the event houses and KQL. In our DP-700, we do revisit SQL. We start from the beginning again, but this time in conjunction with PySpark. In addition, we've also got the PL-300 course. So if you're starting from the beginning, wondering how to start with Power BI or Fabric, then I would start with this course. So we've got over 150,000 students learning about visualizations and analysis, get and transform data, refining the model, and the Power BI service. There are links to all three of these courses in the description. And if you click on the Get Here to Get Started on our website, idodata.com, you'll find out that these links include discounted voucher codes. So you should be able to get all three of these courses for well under $50. So if you would like to extend your knowledge into Microsoft Fabric, if you would like to go for the exams, then please join us in our courses. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a like, and why not subscribe and click that bell? That way, you'll be notified of any new videos. Now, to end this video, how much importance is Microsoft placing on Microsoft Fabric? Well, there is an exam, the DP-203 exam, all about Azure Data Engineer Associate, and this is a very popular certification. However, it is being retired as of the 31st of March 2025. Now, while Microsoft says it has no current plans to retire Azure Synapse Analytics, it is clear to me that with the withdrawal of the DP-203 certification, Microsoft is de-emphasizing Microsoft Azure in favor of Microsoft Fabric. So if this is the case, you might want to get certified in the new emerging technologies according to Microsoft, Power BI, and Microsoft Fabric. So my question to you is, what exams are you going to be targeting in 2025 and beyond? Why not let me know in the comments to this video? And if you'd like to know more about the DP-700, then there's a link to another video about it in the end screen to this video. I'm Philip Burton. I hope to see you soon in our courses. Please go to idodata.com for more details. Thank you very much for watching and keep learning.